I realized this morning we haven't taken a tour of the garden in a very long time, so a lot has changed. I figured that this would be a good opportunity to take you around, see what's different and maybe what's grown in our garden. So take a look at the pear arch. It's grown significantly since last year, and our blueberry bushes are doing very well. We've got a multiple variety of blueberries here, including what's something called pink lemonade. So it's supposed to be pink blueberries. So I know that's kind of an oxymoron, pink, blue, whatever. But hopefully they'll be delicious and attractive. We've added, you can barely see them because they're very, very small, another 6 blueberry bushes, Jersey blueberries. So hopefully those will grow up big and strong and provide us with a lot of blueberries. What has been great is our asparagus. We planted 2 varieties last spring. We did Jersey Giant and Mary Washington, and they have come on strong. They came on strong last year, and they've come on very, very strong this year. In this empty bed, we will be planting the seeds for a French version of asparagus that actually is pink. So it'll be a lighter pink with green undertones, so it'll be a nice variety to add to the mix. We've started off real early with some chard and kale seedlings, so those are sprouting up. We had such a hard winter here that it was difficult to get anything out in the garden as far as seeds or even seedlings until just a couple of weeks ago. We've got some gorgeous fennel coming on strong, that delightful anise flavor that's great grilled, or it's really great raw, sliced up in salads. Yum. And then we've got, it's called queue de bois cabbage. So it is a smaller cabbage, and it's kind of conical in shape. So it's not a big ball of cabbage like you're used to. So it's smaller, more flavorful, and has a little bit different shape. And then in here will be red acre cabbage. They're spaced quite far apart because they do get quite big. They need about 1 square foot per plant. So we've got 8 in this one. And just today I planted 3 beds of peppers. So different varieties of peppers. Yola Wonder, California Wonder, Canary, which are the yellow ones. And then also some purple sweet peppers, some baby sweet peppers, the cherry kind that are great in salads or can be pickled, as well as the Loosestrier pepper, which is the one that paprika is made from. It's quite hot. Some lovely pansies. These are edible pansies, so those will be going in some of our early salad mixes, along with our lettuce and frisee and endive lettuce. Just started a few beets in this bed here, and we're going to come around to the polytunnel, and you can see that we've got a pretty full polytunnel. We've got 20 tomato plants, different varieties of vining tomato plants. They have been caged, but they haven't been staked yet. That's this week. And then over here we've got different kinds of cabbage. So some Savoy cabbage, a little bit of red acre, and then we've got kale. And then I started a patch of chard in here a little early so that we can get some in a few weeks for some of our early CSA and market customers. And then also some seedlings that are going to be going in the ground in about a week. If you come over here, this is our blackberry patch. It has grown significantly since last year, and we've also added supports to make sure that those canes stay upright and off the ground so the berries stay very fresh and nice and well formed. Planted a box of lavender here. Hopefully this will provide some herbs for sale, as well as herbs for drying for me to do some more herbal work. This large mass is our golden raspberries, both Ann and Fall Harvest. We added some more this year. We added 6 more plants this year, and that completes that bed. Our red raspberries are coming on full strength. We added 2 final ones at the end of this bed to complete it this spring, so they are going very, very well. And then various vegetables have been planted, so shallots, watermelon radishes. In there, just starting to come up, are parsnips. We've got radishes here. We're leaving some parts of the beds open not because we're not going to plant in them, we're just doing succession planting. So, this many radishes will take us, a couple of weeks in to harvest. And then like Monday or Tuesday of this week, I'll plant this balance of this box with radishes. So those will carry us further into the season. Take you back into the carrot area. This has been planted up with 2 different kinds of carrots and turnips down at the end, and then half of this bed has been planted out with 3 varieties of carrots, and this is the same situation as the radishes. As soon as these take on some growth, I will plant the balance of the bed so that we have a succession of carrots throughout the season and not just one big glut. The newest thing is our grape area, our wine grape area. So the vines are here. We've got 4 of them, and I'll start prepping these beds this week. But we were waiting on completing the statue. If you remember last year when I took you on a tour, this was in 2 pieces, and the one piece was sitting on the ground. So with the help of some very good friends, we did a lift on it last night and got it up on its pedestal. So he is happy, and now the grape section can be completed. The tiny apple trees are starting to really leaf out and get on new limbs. This is the 2nd season for them. The Granny Smith is just full of blossoms that smell heavenly. I wish you guys were here to be able to smell them. But the bees are liking them, so that's great too. We'll just take you along here. This is the Golden Delicious apple. It's getting really, really big. So we're happy about the growth that's coming on these. The Orleans apple, also very, very nicely leafed out for the season. And then the comfrey that we planted, the small little pots of comfrey, have just become huge. This is the Honeycrisp apple. Yeah, this is the example of the comfrey that is just coming on strong. This comfrey is actually great for the soil. It conditions the soil, and it also can act as a mulch. Because the taproots on comfrey are so large and long, they actually dig deep down into the soil and pull nutrients up, and they're stored in their leaves. So once a season, we cut all the comfrey down and then lay it around in places where we feel like it needs nutrition. So, another new feature are the arches that we put in on 3 beds right now. We wanted to have some vertical space to grow beans and peas, and we'll see the peas that are starting already. These will be planted with beans as soon as the weather and the soil warms up enough. We've got some varietal salad lettuce. This is the first salad lettuce for the year. We should be harvesting that in just a couple of weeks, and it's a cut and come again variety. And so we are taking 3 different beds like this and putting salad lettuce in it at different varying stages. So this one was planted first. This one was planted next, and so it's just now sprouting. And then the one over on the other side will be planted in another week, as well as this other half, so that we'll have salad lettuce into the season. And then we'll swap out the original one when it's done with a different kind of salad lettuce for the late summer and early autumn. But you can see that my snap peas are now planted in. We potted them, or actually planted them in cell packs as an experiment this year on the equinox, which is when you're allegedly supposed to be able to plant them in the soil. But we had snow and ice that day, so we thought twice about it. This is another variety of snap peas. Oh, sorry, no, these are shelling peas. So these are the shelling and those are the snap. We also planted quite a few onions. In this bed, it's a 12-foot bed, is the yellow and the red onions, and then further up when we get to it are white onions. And so I'm not sure if you've seen, you might have seen on just pictures and whatnot, this is our rain catchment structure. It collects rain at the top, it leads it down into a gutter system that then puts it into this 550-gallon cistern that is powered by solar power. It's a pump, transfer pump, that's run on a solar battery that then takes water to different zones of the garden so that we can use drip irrigation and soaker irrigation in order to irrigate the crops, cutting down on water usage. Since we're off the grid here, our only source of water is rain. So This bed is got chamomile in it. The chamomile were bursting in their pots in the greenhouse, and we thought we were going to lose the whole crop because they were starting to turn yellow. We put them outside and we covered them over for a couple of nights with plastic sheeting, and they came back gangbusters. It's great to see. And then I did do a picture and a video the other day of our bees, but you can now see that they're just swarming around, having a great time completing their daily jobs, pulling out comb, and the queen has been taken out of the cage by the bees, and so now any day now she'll take her mating flight, and then we'll start to see brood in the chambers as they're filling that out. So she'll start having babies right away, and then will be producing honey shortly. Potted up and planted up most of the herbs already in their beds. This bed has got rosemary in it, 2 different varieties, Rosemary officinalis, and then a variety that's called barbecue. So it's called that way because the stems are so thick that you can actually punch that through shish kebabs or different pieces of meat when you're grilling it, and it'll infuse it with flavor and it'll be terrific. This is sage. It's a perennial herb, whereas rosemary is an annual in this zone. This is French tarragon, also a bit anisey in flavor, but super delicious. I love to make tarragon mayonnaises for chicken salads. It's absolutely delicious. This is lemon balm, so it's a lemon mint. It's delicious in teas, and also I use it along with lemon verbena to make syrups for sweetening iced tea and different things. This bed is full of Greek oregano, and then this one is full of parsley, so flat leaf Italian parsley. Further along are English thyme, and then these are the white onions I told you about just a moment ago, and we've kind of made a loop to the peppers bed. We've had our rhubarb pop through on a few of the sprouts, so we're real excited about that. Obviously it's a few years away before we'll be harvesting it, but we're getting a start on it. And then finally, these might be a little bit difficult to see in the sunlight, but we have set up cattle panels. They're usually about 16 feet long, but I cut them in half with a bolt cutter, and then plunged them into the ground, bent them, and connected them to the fence. So you can see the connection to the fence line, just with a C-clamp. It secures it there. At its base, we've placed bags of manure, so composted manure. And we've got 5 of these, actually 6 of these, along the fence line to use this underutilized area for growing vegetables. Since we're a 1/4 acre, we have to use every space very efficiently. So what this will do is plant cucumbers in this area. We'll plant them directly in the manure bags because they really, really love a lot of rich feed, and then that composted manure at the end of the season, once it's spent, can be added to the beds for further additions to the soil that is there. All of the cherry trees and the plum trees and everything has just been so beautiful this year. They've just grown so much over the last year. We're real excited about the possibilities of what is to come here at Verdigris Market Garden. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and we will make sure that it is not so long the next time. So thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.